Happy Crypto Sunday to you, and Football Sunday here. Jumping on a Sunday because, that liquidation event that we had on Friday, which was probably largely manipulated, it was insane. The biggest drop ever in crypto history. We'll get into that shortly. I'll do a little screen share on that. But I just want to let you know, we need cleansings like that. And that's actually a good thing. And it shows the bullishness in the market that everything is now recovered close to where it was before, if not some projects above where they were before. That a very good sign. So it shows that there are a lot of buyers. You're getting rid of all these people who leverage. Why people leverage, I just do not understand it. I never recommend leverage. I would not leverage. I've never leveraged in crypto, and I won't leverage in crypto. And I don't want any of you guys out there leveraging in crypto. You will get wiped out. You will get liquidated. You will pay the price. Every once in a while, you get lucky. You'll get through before they wipe things out. But I'd recommend not doing that. It's just never a good thing. Let's do a little screen share here. Let's get into this post here. This was an Instagram one by the Kabesi letter. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. This saw its largest liquidation event in history with 1.6 million traders liquidated. Over 19 billion worth of leveraged crypto positions were liquidated in 24 hours, 9 times the previous record. Crazy, insane. But, with that, you get days like this where the market goes up, SNX up almost 191%. Look at all these green candles and very few red candles. So very good sign. Strength back in here. People are buying back in. It's a positive thing overall. Just know and understand that these things do happen. And let's talk about what helped cause it here. So we had a hyperliquid whale who made $150 million with a short bet, and now he's opening another $160 million short bet. So we'll see. Hyperliquid is a good project I do like. They buy back tokens all the time. They keep the supply down with that, and it's definitely a project I'm bullish on right now. We'll see how long this one goes on for and how long this lasts. But this project for now, I do like, at least for this cycle in the short term. But it was Binance, right? Binance was the one that had helped cause this whole flash crash with their Oracle feed. They had some crazy, let's see where you find it here. Here we go. The USDE was depegged, and it was a coordinated attack through their own oracles. And it dropped the dollar value down to 65 cents on USDE. So liquidated a lot of people. Those people are being taken care of now. Binance is actually making good on it and paying them back. So that's a positive sign. So they realized it was an internal error on their end. There's so many things that just got liquidated on Binance. There were people trying to buy things on Binance when the market tanked and they couldn't. Buy orders not going through. This is what always happens on these exchanges. That's why I usually recommend Caleb and Brown. There's another firm in Australia. I forget the name of it right now, but I'll put a link. They're another good one you can use too. They charge you 3.5%, but you get your orders filled, buy and sell. You don't get crashed through like you do on these exchanges. So that's why I recommend utilizing them. Uptrade, that's what it is. Uptrade is the other firm in Australia, and they're both very good. Both of them I'd recommend. I have accounts with both. I also have Binance. I also have Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, and several others. But they will play games and manipulate. Know that can happen. And it probably will happen and will happen again. So just know and understand that. All right. So with that, knowing that, how do you know when the market's getting overheated? Well, it gets overheated quite often. And there's certain indicators you can look at here to reduce that, right? One of them is the relative strength index, the RSI. When that gets above 70 is when it's overheated. That's the number one. Fear and greed index. When fear and greed is over 75, that's when you know the market's overheated and you want to look to get out. Then you have things with the futures contracts where there's too many long positions and there's 5% more long positions than short. That's when you know it's overheated as well. Social media influencers, when you start seeing everything on TikTok, Instagram, Tube, Twitter, when everybody's on there pushing things and the narrative is crazy, there's a bunch of FOMO, that's when you know you probably want to sell and get out. And there's also on-chain data. So you can look at on-chain data with Bitcoin, with Ethereum. You can look at it on other different cryptos too. When you see these whales moving their coins from their cold storage or their wallets onto exchanges, know they're moving them on exchanges to sell. So they're going to liquidate everything. You want to sell before they do because they're going to push the price down a lot quicker than you're going to be able to push the price down when you just own a little bit compared to what they own. So know that that's going to be pushing things down. When whales moving on exchanges, know there's just going to be sales. There's just going to be a lot of selling going on. Important to know. Those are your big key indicators to look at and know and understand. When they get hot, when they're all running, that's when it's time for you to exit. So I really want to talk about those things, but we've got a window of an opportunity coming up here, a window for buying. I mean, right now is still a good buying time with this liquidation event that went on Friday. Even if things are recovered, you're still at good price points because usually it's usually October. And I do anticipate this could be a very up month. And then November is going to be your alt season month. It's when the next key indicator, Ethereum, once that breaks its new all-time high, then the altcoins will then start really flowing. Because what happens is people sell their Bitcoin, people sell their Ethereum, and they put it in the other altcoins. So the money starts getting cycled around and cycled through. And then retail gets in there because retail starts to FOMO in and they start buying like crazy on every exchange. And that's when things go parabolic. Again, that's when you see things on X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all these different platforms. And when that's happening, that's when you know, all right, things are getting overheated. And if you got in late and if you 2X, 3X, 4X your money, get out. Get out while getting's good. Because once everything's going on, all these numbers are going high and then we hit extreme greed, you're almost too late. You have to start selling before then, but start positioning yourself out and know that it's probably going to end in a 3 to 6 week period. That's pretty much alt season. It's a very short, quick window where everything runs up parabolic. Then we can expect probably December, January to things to plateau, come back to normal. Could bleed into January a little bit, but usually that's about the time frame that this all ends. And then you're going to have correction, pretty sizable correction, and then a downturn for a period of time before things move back up again. And will they ever get back to where they were? Well, no, it'll take time for that probably. Some things may shoot up. There's things that run at different times. Meme coins always run first. Generally, you have AI tokens, you have your layer ones, you have your layer twos, and everything cycles through. So that's usually the process on how things go. Look at this as a window of opportunity. You're a kid who just went into the candy store. The door is it's open pretty wide, but you turn back and you notice it closing and you're trying to get as much candy as you can because this is almost free candy. You're getting as much candy as you can in your bag and still get out that door in time with your candy. You don't want to get trapped inside holding your bags, round tripping them for the next cycle. So we have a window of opportunity, window of buying opportunity. If you've already bought, hold and be ready to sell and exit because we're coming up here in the next probably 4 to 10 weeks of opportunity here, big time upside into alt season. We're not quite at alt season yet, but we're getting there. We're almost there. And I think this latest liquidation is going to help push us up there. And this is a buying opportunity. Sunday, I don't normally pop on Sundays. I like to keep my weekends free, but I felt this was important to get out to you guys, knowing that you have time and opportunity. Today might be a good buying day. Tomorrow could be too. Try not to buy green days, try to buy red days. So if tomorrow's a little bit of a down day, that might be a better buying opportunity than when everything is up like it is today. All right, guys, catch you later.